1985, New York City. 5 Italian mafia families run the city, but the Gambino crime family is the largest, wealthiest, and most brutal among them.
The Gambino family was known to be a ruthless family.
The family officially gets their name in 1957, when underboss Carlo Gambino orders the hit of the reigning Don, or boss, Albert Anastasia. Gambino raises the family's profits and power as the head of the commission, the governing body of the Italian-American Mafia in the U.S. When Gambino dies in 1976, his cousin, Paul Castellano, a capo, rises to the top. Castellano runs the family with underboss Neil Della Croce and consigliere Joseph Gallo. Under them are over 20 capos, upwards of 200 soldiers, and thousands of associates. But no matter how much the family is raking in, Castellano wants a bigger and bigger take. His greed will trigger one of the most infamous mob hits in history. One capo in Queens has a major problem with the boss's greedy ways. His name is John Gotti.
John Gotti wanted to be a gangster, and he was a throwback to the era when the gangsters were this big public persona because they were the tough guys.
Gotti is in Castellano's bad books because members of his crew, including his brother Gene, have been indicted for running drugs, which is forbidden.
When Carlo Gambino became the boss, he put out a rule. Nobody was allowed to sell narcotics anymore because it brought too much heat to the organization.
Castellano threatens to bust up the crew and demote Gotti. Outraged, Gotti goes straight to his mentor, underboss Neil Della Croce.
Neil Della Croce, advised if you go after the boss, you could potentially be starting a war.
But Gotti begins to plot behind Della Croce's back with an ambitious soldier named Sammy the Bull Gravano. And the two see their opening 14 days after Della Croce dies of cancer. December 16th, 1985, Midtown Manhattan. Gotti and Gravano have arranged for 4 hitmen to take out the boss.
And they go to Sparks Steakhouse, where they are tipped that Castellano is going to be having an early dinner.
As John Gotti and Sammy Gravano keep watch from across the street, Castellano's car pulls up outside the restaurant. What happens next changes the Gambino crime family forever.
Castellano was killed as soon as he got out of his car. Bellotti tried to evade, but was killed by another gunman. There's pandemonium on the street.
I mean, this is the holiday season. This is Midtown Manhattan. This was shocking.
Gotti has just done the unthinkable. He's taken out the boss of the most powerful mob family in New York City without getting the blessing from the commission. 1 month later, the Gambinos come together to choose a new boss. To no one's surprise, John Gotti is the only nominee.
Some people were not happy, but they were not going to say anything because at that point, the Gambino family knew that if they went against John, they were going to go. They all voted yes, and John officially became the boss.